Ladies and gentlemen, Houston, Texas takes another L. Why? Why do we continue to keep having so many stories come out of my home state, out of Texas, and so many of them come out of Houston? Houston, Texas, Spring, Texas, the surrounding area of that area. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they put in the water out there, which is why when I drink water, I drink Fiji water. I don't drink that water out there in Houston. I don't at all. I don't know what the hell is going on out there, and people in these hotel rooms and kids dying in hotels. But let's talk about this story about this baby boy who actually was very close to somebody seeing something and saying something and saving his life. They did all they could do, and this mother still failed this boy. But let me explain that I might say some things that might not sit well with your sensibility, so I want to apologize in advance if you can't handle me being real about what's going on with these children, okay? The mother of this young boy who you see on my screen was found dead in a Houston hotel room on Tuesday, apparently told police that she was the mother. Let me see if I can get her face up on the screen. And I don't know why she said this. You just can't fix stupid sometimes, and sometimes stupid is as stupid thugs. Ain't that right, Lieutenant Dan? This woman that you see on my screen is the mother of that boy, and this woman admitted that she was having sex with her boyfriend when her child passed away. Hashtag not my words. That was her words. As Crime Online previously reported, the mother on the left-hand side, her name is Kayla Holzendorf, who was 24 years old, and her boyfriend, mom's boyfriend, is Dominique Lewis, who is 28 years old, 28 years old. And they're both behind bars in connection with the death of her son by the name of Keontae Holzendorf. According to the Houston Police Department, first responders arrived at the Quality Inn and Suites at 2930 West Sam Houston Parkway South on Wednesday after somebody reported that the child had drowned in a bathtub. Now, when I'm out there in Houston, I didn't stay out there. I stay at Marriott hotels. I don't stay at no damn Quality Inn, and I get it. A lot of people do. But I'm just saying it's kind of weird how people keep dying in all these hotels. It's just a really weird thing. Now, authorities say that they found the little boy in the hotel room covered in physical injuries that would not have happened from him drowning in a bathtub. The boy was rushed to the Texas Children's Hospital in Katy, Texas, which is about half an hour away from Texas. And that's where he was officially pronounced dead. Both suspects were in the hotel room when police arrived. While doing a search, the police found handcuffs that were hidden under the mattress, along with duct tape in the room. Holzendorf allegedly admitted to police that she hid the handcuffs. We believe those handcuffs may have been associated with the ligature marks on the ankles of the boy. Gilbert Sawtelle, the chief prosecutor of the Children's Fatality Division at Harris County District Attorney's Office, told the news. On the day of the child's death, Holzendorf sent him to take a bath while she had sex with her boyfriend. That's according to what she told the investigators. Now, the mother says she went to check on the boy after she had sex with her boyfriend, and I'm going to continue to stress that point as to where her mindset is, okay? She went to check on him after she got done catching her. Let me not say that. Let me not be disgusting with it. And she found him unresponsive in the bathtub, according to her words. The boy, Keontae's grandmother, Cheryl, traveled to Houston after learning the boy died. She told the news that she was shocked to hear what happened and had no idea that her grandson was reportedly living in a hotel with his mother and her boyfriend. The injuries found on Keontae were consistent with child abuse. Along with ligature marks on his ankles, Sawtelle said that the boy had large patches of skin missing from his chest, upper arms, his thighs, and his genitalia. I want you guys to remember, as well as you might say and as quick as you might say, it's hard to listen to these stories. What about what this boy had to go through? We can't sit here and just listen at what he had to go through, what he had to live through, what his mama forced him to go through. I feel like we owe him to hear his story. That's the least we could do. Okay? Let's move on. They specifically said the boy had patches of burn marks on his chest and his body. He had burn marks on the shaft of his male member, on his genitalia. Wow. He had lacerations on his left ear. He had forehead bruising, and that's that boy right here, and puncture wounds on various parts of his body. A witness, Najee Jackson, told the news that she saw the boy around 3 weeks. This is important. She saw this boy 3 weeks before he died, and I want y'all to hear this part. She was selling muffins outside of a Food Town grocery store, and according to Jackson, he kept falling asleep. Jackson said the boy Keontae had cuts and bruises, both old and new, which prompted her to call the police. So what does that mean? That means this woman saw something and she said something. Somebody please put that in the chat. She saw something and said something. Hashtag see something, say something. Can somebody post that in the chat? Because we're getting ready to bring that up again. She saw something and said something, called the police. When I asked the little boy if he was okay, all he did was stare at me. That's according to her. He didn't speak. I felt like I could have did more, but what could I have done? And I'm going to tell you guys, she did the right thing, and she did everything that she was supposed to do. She was not supposed to grab the boy, run off with him to try to protect him, because then she puts herself in a huge legal disadvantage. She could get sued. She could get arrested. I never encourage any of you guys to put your life in jeopardy or put your freedom in jeopardy if you don't truly know what's going on. Your job is to call the authorities. Hopefully everybody understands that. You're not supposed to put your life and your freedom in jeopardy. If you see something, say something. We pay the police to put their lives and their freedom in jeopardy. That's what they're supposed to do. So she did her part. She did the correct thing. But I'm glad that she felt that she could have done more. The HPD spokesman, John Cannon, reportedly said that the officers who arrived to check on the boy after Jackson's phone call noted that he appeared playful and unafraid of his mother and Lewis. The suspects told the responding officer that the bruises on the boy came from a bike accident. And I want y'all to remember that this boy, let me see if I can find his age. Give me a moment. I think he's 8, but let me make sure. 8 years old. So yes. So Lee Hellinger, shout out to my friend Lee in the chat. Anybody else who's wondering, the boy was 8 years old. So just want to make sure we get that information out there. The officer then ran the suspects' names with Child Protective Services, with CPS. Then they contacted the state's CPS Physical Abuse Unit. A CPS spokesperson said that the family does have a previous case, but they could not give any details. The police went to CPS. Matter of fact, I don't even understand this. So let me get you guys to understand something. The police can be privy to classified information just as well as Child Protective Services. What is the disconnect? There is a disconnect there. Why is there a disconnect where CPS can't tell the police the details of a case? Why can't they tell the police? And I'm asking that question when I ask why, is I'm insisting that they should. They should be able to tell the police everything that they know. That boy's life depended on that information. But they said they do have a case, but we can't give the police the details. That sounds stupid as hell. Both suspects were detained and subsequently arrested. They're facing charges of injury to a child and tampering with evidence. Additional charges could follow pending this baby's autopsy. We believe this to be domestic violence related, and we're investigating this now with our homicide division, and we suspect foul play, according to Assistant Chief Wendy Bainbridge with the Houston Police Department. We are looking at both mom and boyfriend and interviewing them at this time. Hosendorf, the mother, her bail was set at $150,000, while her boyfriend's bail was double at $300,000. How does that make any sense? It was the mom's child. The mom brought this boy and introduced him to the situation. The mom allowed it to happen. The mom lied, but mom's bail is half of what his bail is. How does that even make it? I'm about to say something that's probably going to get me flagged. So let me just refrain. Let me show you guys the news videos. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. This don't make no damn sense. All right, let's go. Here's the news videos.
This breaking overnight, just really a tragic story. An 8-year-old boy drowned in a motel bathtub at a Quality Inn and Suites in West Houston. This is near the Beltway. Aniele Ruiz is live there now in West Houston. Aniele, what do we know this morning?
Hey, good morning, Xavier. So here's what we know. Police tell us they received a call from one of these hotel rooms here off the Beltway near Westheimer about a boy drowning in the tub. When paramedics arrived, they performed CPR on an 8-year-old little boy. Now they transport him to Texas Children's Hospital in Katy. Unfortunately, that little boy did not make it. He died at the hospital. But police are now looking into the mom and her boyfriend. They were both in their room when it happened.
We believe this to be domestic violence related, and we are investigating this now with our homicide division for we suspect foul play.
Now, police tell us the family was staying here. It's unclear where they were from, but we do know that so far at this time, no arrests and no charges have been filed. And of course, we will continue to follow this and bring.
Part of that is not true. I think they arrested them, but they're waiting for more charges to come through pending the autopsy. So that part might be a little like slightly old. So let's move on to the next video.
You at 6:31 to our breaking news. Police are investigating the death of an 8-year-old boy at a motel, and they say they do suspect foul play.
Detectives are now questioning the child's mother and her boyfriend. KPRC2's.
And again, I'll say this point again. I'll share this story. If the mother takes her child to the thug zoo and places her child in the side of the thug's lion cage, and that lion murders her baby, why are we not holding the mother who took her child to the thug zoo more accountable? It's her biological child. It's her responsibility along with the biological father, but the baby was in mom's possession, in mom's care, in mom's custody. It was her responsibility and her failure to take care of this kid. I think that the mom should have gotten triple bail what the boyfriend's bail was. So if his bail was $300,000, I think her bail should have been $1 million. Not half of what his is. That just doesn't make any sense. But I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let the videos play.
Vincent Crivelli is live at the Quality Inn Suites in the West Chase District. Vincent, this started as a drowning call to 911, right?
Amy, that's right. Then the boy was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced deceased. However, investigators say his injuries don't appear to be from a drowning.
First responders' flashing lights paint the night sky at the Quality Inn and Suites in West Houston. Detectives say an 8-year-old boy died from an incident stemming from the motel. They first got a call at 11 o'clock last night
regarding a child that had drowned in a tub in one of the rooms here.
First responders rushed to the scene and firefighters started giving the 8-year-old boy CPR.
And he was transported to Texas Children's Hospital at the West Campus on Katy, where he was pronounced deceased.
Now detectives want answers. How did this happen? They say the boy's injuries don't look like he drowned, so they have plenty of questions for the boy's mother and her boyfriend.
At the time of our arrival, the biological mother, along with her boyfriend, was in the room. We believe this to be domestic violence related, and we are investigating this now with our homicide division for we suspect foul play.
The dead boy's mother and her boyfriend have not been arrested. However, at last check, they are still being questioned. Reporting live in West Houston, Vincent Crivelli.
For his death. This comes after Keontae Holzendorf was found dead in a West Houston hotel Tuesday night. His mother and her common-law husband now are facing charges in connection.
Now they're calling it a common-law husband instead of just mom's boyfriend. Why do they even give a shit about a title like that? Excuse my language. But why do they even give a crap about a title? It's mom's boyfriend. She's not legally married to this dude. And yes, I agree. Maybe we need to start having a license to procreate. Hashtag license to procreate. Thank you for that. They're referring to him as her common law. Like, who cares?
With his death. Bill Spencer is live at that hotel where the child was found with more on the grandparents' plea for answers and for justice. Bill.
Yes, Keith, this is a family that is just agonizing today over the death of this little boy, just 8 years old. He was found unconscious in the bathtub in one of the rooms here at this hotel. His own mother claiming that he had drowned inside that bathtub. That's something investigators are taking a very hard look at, given all the evidence in this case. Now his grandparents are here as well, trying to get answers.
Some because we know right now we are truly walking through the valley of shadow of death.
They are 4 grandparents living a nightmare right now and searching for answers into how their grandchild, 8-year-old Keontae Holzendorf, really died. On March 23rd, police were called to this Quality Inn hotel off the Sam Houston Parkway on reports that little Keontae had drowned inside the bathtub in room 214.
I immediately thought like it was something else behind it. Ain't no way an 8-year-old can just drown himself in a tub.
Now the little boy's mother, Kayla Holzendorf, and her boyfriend, Dominique Lewis, are both facing charges of injury to a child and tampering with evidence. And there could be additional charges coming pending the outcome of the official autopsy. As far as their story about the little boy drowning goes, Kayla's own mother and father don't believe that story. They believe their daughter is lying. Do you think that Kayla and Dominique are responsible for this little boy's death, and what do you want to have happen to them?
Yes, I do think they're responsible, and I just want justice for Keontae.
And I'm going to tell y'all, that's her own mother. If your own mother comes out and the mother believes that you're lying, that's got to hurt twice as much, that your own child can lie and do something this stupid, and then you know that you lost a grandchild also. Golly, that is so messed up for all of them. I feel so bad for all of them.
Know that God has prepared a better place for Keontae, and he's in a better place. He's growing up in a place now where he don't have to worry about being mistreated, abused.
The grandparents of that beautiful little boy. And I've got to tell you that prosecutors have evidence right now they're looking very closely at. Evidence that this little boy may have been tortured with duct tape. They found scraps of torn duct tape with human hair on them inside that hotel room. They also found handcuffs indicating that the child may have been bound and tortured. Reporting live, this is Bill Spencer, KPRC 2 News.
It's just hard to listen to, Bill. Thank you.
And this just in, Houston police releasing the names and mugshots of this couple arrested for the death of an 8-year-old boy. The child's mother, Kayla Holzendorf, and her common-law husband, Dominique Lewis, are charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence. Investigators say the couple claimed Keontae Holzendorf drowned in a bathtub last night at the Quality Inn near the Beltway in Westheimer. But police say the boy had several injuries that were not consistent with drowning. He was pronounced dead at the hospital.
So they tried to blame it on the boy. How many stories? Matter of fact, some of y'all might even be able to go on the channel and count the videos one of these days. How many stories just in Texas alone have we done, including one that went viral? I don't remember the name of it right off the top of my head, but how many stories have we done just in Texas where a child has died and the parents blamed it on the child, that the child did it to themselves?
Begin with the tragic death of an 8-year-old boy at a motel in West Houston. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Sirota.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Physical abuse, even signs of torture are just some of the details revealed in court when the boy's mother, Kayla Holzendorf, and her common-law husband, Dominique Lewis, faced a judge this morning. KPRC 2's Kathy Hernandez has been tracking the latest and joins us live downtown with what else was learned in court this morning. Kathy?
Good morning to you. That man remains behind bars along with the woman charged in this case. The woman is the mother of that 8-year-old boy. Disturbing details revealed in court this morning.
To have burn patches on his chest and body.
28-year-old Dominique Lewis is charged with injury to a child and tampering with evidence in the death of an 8-year-old boy. His common-law wife, 24-year-old Kayla Holzendorf, who is the boy's mother, is also charged. Officers found the boy dead at the Quality Inn and Suites on West Sam Houston Parkway in Westheimer Sunday night. Lewis and Holzendorf claim the boy drowned in the bathtub, but detectives say his injuries showed something different.
The complainant, as he observed him deceased in the emergency room of the hospital, had multiple new and old injuries to his entire body.
Prosecutors say there were signs of chronic physical abuse and torture.
And ligature marks on his ankles and wrists, possibly caused by being restrained with handcuffs.
Prosecutors say officers found a set of handcuffs in the mattress of the hotel room. Holzendorf admitted to hiding there. Just last month, the couple had another encounter with police. A woman sent us this video saying she saw the same boy at a grocery store on Willcrest selling muffins on February 28th. She called 911 after noticing the boy had a black eye and scratches behind his ears. Police tell us the officer talked to Holzendorf, who said the boy got the injuries after falling off his bike. The officer did notice the boy was laughing and playful, so he let them go and referred the case to CPS.
Right there. And I think this next video, I got one more video to show you, then I'm gonna give my closing thoughts. That right there was where we could have saved his life. The woman called the police. Great job. The police showed up, did an interview. Great job. The failure in this particular situation, number one, I want y'all to remember, this is mom's fault at the end of the day. Don't get mad at the police. Don't get mad at the Good Samaritan. Don't get mad at CPS. Get mad on the mom. It starts at home. It's the mom's fault that all of this happened. Okay? They misused and abused the system and that boy and got out of that little loophole that they weren't able to arrest them because of what they saw here. Okay? But if CPS would have told them the details, The police might have had enough evidence to go ahead and try to take that boy out of their custody then, and they could have saved a life right there. But the police were disadvantaged. They can't break the law. They can only do what they can legally. That's it. That's all they could have done.
Nearly a month later,
that's it.
That boy is gone.
We are learning new
this
details
one's gonna
about
actually
the
show
tragic
it. So here we
death
go.
of
Here's
an
the video.
8-year-old boy. Today, his mother and her common-law husband faced at a West Houston motel Tuesday night. And according to court documents, the boy experienced torture and abuse. KPRC 2's Bill Barajas is live now in West Houston with the latest on today's hearing. Bill?
Well, prosecutors detailed the conditions of that child's body when it was first found by paramedics and the Houston police officers that responded to this hotel here in West Houston. The details of that can only be described as troubling and disturbing. They said he had multiple injuries throughout his body, old and new. And we actually spoke to a woman who says she noticed those injuries weeks ago and called the Houston Police Department. This was the moment Najee Jackson first saw 8-year-old Keontae Hosendorf. She says his physical appearance compelled her to call Houston police.
He had a cut under his right eye. It looks as if he got it stitched up because it was a really deep gash. He had burns, old burns on each ear.
And she almost was a hero. She did the right thing. This is the lady who called the police when she saw something and said something. I want y'all to bookmark that in your mind, okay?
He had cuts and old cuts all over his face, on his neck, on his hands.
Jackson says the 8-year-old was selling muffins, his mother at his side. Police tell us the officer talked to the boy's parents, but they claimed he got the injuries after falling off his bike.
The stepfather was called by the mother on speaker, and he was basically threatening me. I'm on my way. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to harm you. You don't know my child. When the police came, he changed. On the speakerphone, he's like, "Oh, I understand her concern. Nothing's going on."
The officer did refer the case to CPS, but just over 3 weeks later, the young boy would be found dead.
The last thing I told him, I know this might be weird, but I said, "I love you and I wish I could help you."
The 8-year-old's mom, Kayla Hosendorf, and her comment.
That's heartbreaking. And I'm going to tell y'all, this sister did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of her. She did all she could do. Do y'all remember Vivi, I can't remember her name, out of Florida. The lady that wrote the note, y'all remember her? And I did send her a t-shirt just to let you guys know. So I did send that to her, and I think she got it. I'm pretty sure she got it. But to her, the lady that worked at the Mrs. Potato restaurant, who wrote that note that ended up saving that boy's life, this is the same thing, and this lady is also a hero in this story because she was that close to saving this baby boy. She said, "I'm trying to help you. It's only so much I can actually do, and I love you." That breaks my heart. And I'm glad she said that. Man, that breaks my heart.
Last thing I told him, I know this might be weird, but I said, "I love you and I wish I could help you."
The 8-year-old's mom, Kayla Hosendorf, and her common-law husband, Dominic Lewis, claiming he had drowned in a tub. Both have since made their first court appearance. Prosecutors saying they believe there's more to this case and that there were signs of physical abuse and torture. Jackson saying she wishes she could have done more.
If you see something, say something. If you see a child out here and they look as if they're not being well taken care of, please say something.
Who does that sound like? Now, y'all know I've done a number of stories out of Texas. A lot of our videos, not all of them, but I know a lot of them have gotten a lot of attention, and some have done really well in views. Again, to continue to spread our message of love and support for the children. What did she just say? Let's listen again. She's using our catchphrase. Let's hear it again. I'm proud of this sister. Very proud of her.
Torture. Jackson saying she wishes she could have done more.
If you see something, say something. If you see a child out here and they...
It almost made me cry, to be honest with y'all, because she was that close to saving this boy. I ain't gonna lie, like, I get choked up when I hear it. I'm glad she used our catchphrase. Hashtag see something, say something. This is why it's important. Matter of fact, that's gonna be our next t-shirt. This one is the hashtag Date Thugs, Date Death shirt. The next one is going to be hashtag see something, say something.
and that there were signs of physical abuse and torture. Jackson saying she wishes she could have done more.
If you see something, say something. If you see a child out here and they look as if they're not being well taken care of, please say something.
And Holzendorf's total bond in this case has been set at $150,000. Lewis's bond has been set at $300,000. Their charges could be upgraded depending on what comes out of the autopsy. We also reached out to CPS to see if they had any involvement with this family in the past. They said they had, but could not get into specifics. Live in West Houston, Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
And again, like I said, I'm not blaming CPS or the police. What I'm saying is that there was a disconnect. There was a disconnect where they could have shared information. I guess they legally can't, but if they did, it could have saved a life. And maybe that's a loophole that we need to close up. That CPS should be able to talk to the police, because guess what? If CPS feels like something is truly wrong, then they have to call the police in to make the arrest, and then they have to give them the information. So if you have to work in conjunction with the police, then why not be more transparent with them? I don't know why they wouldn't. And maybe there's a reason for that I don't know. But again, all of this starts with the mother. It was her child in her custody. She took her child to the Thug Zoo and placed her child in the Thug Lion cage and just continued to allow that Thug Lion to murder her baby and abuse her baby to death. And this little boy could have been saved, and y'all could see it in his eyes. That's despair. That's despair in his eyes. So close to saving his life. But that's also why we tell these stories as a cautionary tale. We can't save his life anymore, but we can also save many more lives of children that are in these situations. If we see something, call the authorities. I'm not asking you guys to jump in and do anything, because you could put your freedom in jeopardy. You could put your life in jeopardy. You could also get sued. So I want you guys to be very mindful of that, because if you do decide to jump into action, I get it. I understand. But I also don't want to be held liable for encouraging you guys to put yourselves in a ton of risk, because there's a ton of risk involved in that, and you absolutely have to know what you're doing before you jump into action. So again, that woman did the right thing. I don't know if she's ever seen our channel, our videos before, or maybe our message is just spreading, but I'm glad she saw something, said something, and it could have saved this boy's life. So again, I hope that they prosecute the mother and boyfriend or common law husband, whatever they want to call that damn idiot. I hope they prosecute them and give them life in prison. They need the same exact sentence. Both of them need to be charged the exact same. But then again, I think that the person who is the custodial parent, or especially if it's their DNA child, should get twice, maybe even 3 times whatever the sentence is of their accomplice. That needs to be changed. To a little boy with all that despair in his face, Keontae Holzendorf, young prince, R.I.P. I'm sorry that this world failed you, young prince. I'm DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, and we're going to continue to keep giving our children a voice. We're going to advocate for children first until we continue to keep saving lives and getting more criminals arrested, because we're going to take a stand for our babies, okay? From my heart to yours, I love all of you guys. Thank you so much for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. You guys enjoy your day, enjoy your evening, sleep well, have a good day at work. We'll see you guys on the next stream, okay? Peace.